Hey everyone, Laura here.
Tanya here.
We've been friends for over a decade and worked together for a long time in call centers as agents, quality analysts, managers, and supervisors.
In 2018, we started up this podcast to talk about the batshit bonkers bullshit we see and continue to see in our time at work and at home as consumers.
We also share your stories as both consumers and as employees.
So keep them coming to Q as in cucumber at yahoo.com.
We host the show anonymously and use aliases. In the stories we tell, we change names and identifying details of people, locations, and companies.
We also share your emails anonymously, so any similarities to real people, locations, or companies is purely coincidental.
So if you think we're talking about you, guilty conscience much?
Now on with the fun.
Love your faces.
Smooches.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
This job would be great if it wasn't for the fucking customers.
You're always this stupid. It is you take lessons.
Just calm down.
Oh, fuck you!
You can't handle the truth.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
In other words, be nice, asshole.
I'm super fucking high right now, so.
I think that's a great place to start. Welcome to another episode of Cubis and Cucumber. I'm Larmac.
And I'm Tanya Edwards.
Are you okay?
Yeah, no. So my feet were hurting so bad last night. I put the cream on. I took the medication. Then finally, at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, I was like, "Fuck it," and I took one of those. It's a THC pill, and I only take a half of one. But because it was so late, like I went to sleep finally because it does. At first, it doesn't give you a head high. It just kind of takes away pain and stuff. And then a couple hours later, you're high, and you stay high for a really long time. David got me up at like 7 o'clock this morning, and he was like, "Hey, let's go to Dutch Brothers." And so I was like, "Okay, cool." So I get in the car and I'm driving, and I'm just like, "Wow, fuck you." I'm high as hell. I didn't ate some hummus. So a bunch of cheese. What else did I have? Oh, a peanut butter sandwich, a Pepsi, and then this Life Water, the see the pineapple kiwi one? This shit is bomb.
Okay.
So yeah. So just, and then I'm gonna make stuffed shells for dinner. But yeah, I just been like a hungry ass all day. Which is unusual. Yeah.
This is true because for the last, however long you've been able to eat shit. So we are
Right.
within
And
quarantine.
I still can't really eat a lot of shit. So
Yeah, this is true. Okay, so we are getting some really interesting emails from y'all. So we're just gonna dive right into emails because these are some pretty good ones. So I gotta go with the first one. This one, oh my God, I love this one so much. This is from the queen, or excuse me, what did she say? That's not what she called us. Oh, she did say this. She says, "This is from the queen of all cucumbers."
oh dear.
And this is specifically for us. She says, "Hey ladies, love the show. I say Q is in cucumber so often now it doesn't even register, but I've never actually heard a customer say it. I work in call centers for a utility company. In urban areas, there can be very similar addresses, so I make sure to confirm the address to avoid mistakes. And I say, okay, let me confirm that you're connecting service at blah, blah, blah street address, apartment Q as in queen. I've had to think about saying it this way for a while now, and I always use queen. I say, apartment Q is in queen, correct? The customer, without blinking an eye, says, yes, street address, apartment Q is in cucumber. I didn't even realize what the customer said while I was on the phone. It hit me as soon as we hung up, and I spent the next several minutes dying of laughter, but kicking myself because I didn't ask, do you listen to the show?
Aw.
It was so
That's
funny
funny.
actually
Oh
hearing
my
it in
God.
real life. Thanks so much. It made me giggle. Aw, you're welcome. Thank you for sure. I thought it was funny. I was like,
Aw.
see, we're not the only like we
It's
used to
so
hear that
cute.
all the time.
Oh,
That's why we named the show Q is in Cucumber because we had
yeah.
so many agents do it over the years. Like we heard it all the time and
Yep.
we always thought it was hilarious. Like,
Every time, like, whenever I tell somebody, they're like, "Oh, you have a podcast. What's the name of it?" And I tell them, and they're like, "Q isn't Q." They just look at me like I'm stupid. I'm like, "I know it. That's not how you fucking spell it, but this is the story behind it." And I explain it to them, and then it always makes me think of that episode of Friends where Phoebe's spelling her name, and she's like, "P is in Phoebe, H is in Hebe, O is in Obi."
that's a
That
good
shit cracks
episode.
me up every time I see
P is in Phoebe, H is in Hebe.
Hebe.
Oh
O
my
is in
God.
Obi, E is in Evie.
Oh my God. Hold
So
on.
I just want to say I do so at one point or another, I just want to say that I have like a really good customer service shout out to give to
Okay.
someone. So it
All right, who we got?
yeah, so whenever we have time, I thought about it.
Okay.
Huh? Okay,
Okay.
so I've had to go through this whole process of getting my boobs, right? So I go
Right, which
through
you
UC
did this
Health and
week.
this girl Haley that has done that has done she did my fittings to find out what size I am and ordered them and everything else. So it took like it usually only takes about 2 weeks to get them because they're ordered special for you and the bras and all that stuff, right? So it only takes
Right.
about 2 weeks to get it. Well, I did this a month ago. I got measured and everything else. So Monday or Tuesday, she calls me and this whole time, like this girl Haley has been calling me and like giving me little updates and stuff like, "Hey, we still haven't gotten
Oh,
them. We still haven't gotten them. Do you need anything? Blah blah blah." Then the other day she calls me and she's like, "Hey, guess what? We got your stuff." And
guess
I was just like, "Oh
what?
God." She was like, "When can you come in?" Yeah. So this is over a month, right? Since I had
Mhm.
my stuff done. So she calls me on Wednesday and she was like, "Well, when can you come in?" I was like, "I can come in anytime. Like, I whatever, I don't care." She was like, "Okay, we
Right.
can come in tomorrow at 10." So I went in Thursday, got all my stuff, put everything on just so I could see what it felt like and everything else. And did everything, but she was just so I mean, she took so much time, like, even in my first initial visit, and she was like, "If you need me to, I'll step out of the room, whatever you're comfortable with." I mean, super, super good. Explained to me how all the measuring works and why I would be a different size with this than I was like in a normal bra and all this other stuff. And whenever I went in to go get my stuff on Thursday morning, she had it all ready and everything. And she had my bras laid out and my prosthetic boobs and stuff and just all kind and she was like, "So I'm gonna have you put it in there so that you know how to put your forms in and everything and blah blah blah." And I mean, she just took like
Oh.
so much care because this is I mean, she could have just been like, "Here's your shit. Here's how you put them on. Bye now." But she sat there for like an hour with me to make sure that I saw like the left from the right because they're shaped different and everything and how to
Uh-huh.
tell which one and I'm a big girl and the ones that we ordered are a little I don't have them on today. Um the ones that I ordered are a little fuller up top and then, they look more natural to my size and everything. She was like, "And if you don't like
Right.
them, give it a week or 2, and if you decide, 'Hey, you know what? I want a different size or a different shape,' bring them back, and I'll order new ones for you, and we'll exchange them out.
Oh my
If you wanna get"
God.
Yeah. And she was like, "If you wanna get" you strike me as the kind of person that has, like, tons of bras and stuff like that. She said, and I was like, "Yeah, you have no idea this is gonna kill me not being able to match every little thing like I normally do." And
Mhm.
so the insurance will only pay for 2 bras a year. And she was like, "I tell
Mhm.
you what, we can find you bras, and if you find any that you want to get, come
Mhm.
through me." Don't order them from the magazines or the websites. Go through me. That
Huh.
way, if the price is like $130 in the magazine or online, you'll only end up paying like maybe $80 or $90 for it.
Oh,
So I was like,
wow.
okay. But her name is Haley. She's also a waitress down at Jack Quinn's.
Okay.
And they're getting ready
Who
to
did
go back
she
to work in a couple
who is
weeks.
this company? Who does
Her
she work
name
for?
is She works for UC Health,
Okay, so
for the
Haley from
Audubon
UC
Center
Health.
doing the prosthetics. Yep, doing
Okay.
prosthetics at the Audubon Center there, the Audubon place or whatever it's called that they have in there, and it's for prosthetics and stuff. And her name is Haley, and
All
she
right.
is freaking like I've been really lucky. Like my surgeon, my oncologist, all my doctors have been like,
Right.
especially my surgeon. Oh my God, like this
Rock
is their calling.
stars.
This girl this girl is just so caring and
Oh.
just takes her time and answers all these because you think in your head like all this stuff and you're just like, okay, well, I don't know how this works and how's this going to work and can I do this with this and can I, and she just knows. And if she doesn't, she's very honest. She's like, you know what, I don't know, I've never had that question before or whatever, but I'll find out and I'll email you. I mean, because we knew
Mm,
it was going to take a little bit longer to get my prosthetics, she had me go onto this website called Athleta,
mhm.
and they have a store up here off of Briargate at the shops Briargate. But because of everything that's going on, they're not open, but you can order online. And they have the breast forms, the mastectomy breast forms, the foam ones, for $10. Well, I went on the website like she told me to, and they were on sale for $7. So I bought like 4 pair. I was
Oh,
just like, oh my
wow.
God. So
All
it
right,
was like,
episode
and
title,
I,
shout out to Haley.
but yes,
All right, shout
Haley,
out to
yeah,
Haley.
Haley at
There we
UC Health
go.
in the process. She was so, because this is a fucking fucked up, sucky ass thing to have to go through. And she really
Absolutely.
was just
Oh.
helped take away like a lot of the apprehension. Like, because you're going to have somebody, and for the last, I don't know, like 5 months, I've been, like, okay, whatever, even with the other forms, but and then once you put those on the good
Mhm.
prosthetics, it was like, oh my God. She was like, yeah, you're even standing up straighter now and everything because it was just
You're
like she was,
crying, aren't
yeah,
you?
she's she's awesome. So
Oh.
their
All right.
menopause has been like really out of control lately. So my menopause is
That's not
like
helping.
super out of control. Oh my God. Yeah, no, between the hot flashes and then crying at a damn show about drag queens. They're just stupid.
All right. So
You have to
shout out
watch
to
it though. It's on
Haley.
HBO on Thursday. So there's a show that's on HBO on Thursday nights called We're Here.
Okay, now it
This
says
show.
recording.
Oh my God. So it's these 3 drag queens, Shangela, Eureka, and Bob's drag queen. And
Okay.
and they go around to these little towns.
All right.
Like they went to
So
Branson,
Buzz
Missouri.
from
Oh
Iowa
my God, I felt so bad for them.
says he
But
works
they put
in
on
a
a
call
drag show.
center.
They take people from the
And he says,
community.
thank you for calling
Like
this
they might
business. My
take,
name is
like
Buzz. And the
this
customer
one
says,
show that
hi, I
they
was calling
had
about your
that
return
they did. It
policy.
was
I bought this
it was a
designer
lesbian
dress and
couple,
was
and one
wondering
of
how
them
to
was
return it since I only
trans, and
needed it for a friend's wedding,
they,
which
and
seems
they
kind of
perform like a show and
like a
with them,
blunt
and they
thing to
teach them how to
say, I
drag queens. And
guess.
it takes
Like,
like one guy was like he was
way to
like
just
Mr.
tell him.
Craft beer douche
But since we have
flute,
an open return policy, I
the
say,
beer,
okay,
the
no
whole
problem. All
thing.
you need to
And he was
do,
just like, yeah, I used to make fun
or
of
all you
gay
need to
people,
do
da da da
is
da.
return
And
it
I want to do
with
something
proof
to give
of
back so they
purchase.
know that
And
I'm
it
not
could
that same
be
person.
your online
And so
order
he
number
shaved
or a
off his
receipt.
beard
And
and
you
did
can
it to
return it through the
drag. And
mail or at one of our
but this
stores.
show is
And the customer
just
says, oh, I don't
so every
have one
Thursday, I'm
of
just sitting over here
those.
crying for
And I
an
say,
hour
okay, well, I
at
can
Bob the
certainly help
Drag
you look
Queen
it
and all
up.
of them. But it's
And
a
the customer says,
great
well,
show. If you have a
actually,
chance, watch it. It's
I
called
bought it
We're
at a
Here.
secondhand bridal store and just wanted to return it to your store since you carry the line. The bridal store won't accept a return. And I say, so let me get this straight. You want me to give you a refund on a dress that we may not even carry, but just because we carry the line, and you never even purchased it with us. And the customer very joyfully says, exactly, you understand. And I said,
What
no,
the hell?
and hung up.
Who fucking... No. No, we're not going to do it.
I told my manager I did this, and my manager said, good job. No.
Oh my God.
Absolutely not.
Stupid.
Jesus Christ. All right.
God.
This one is called The Tale of Princess Karen. Yeah, exactly.
Oh no.
This is from Empress Elodie. I like the name Elodie. Ginger, my little sister Ginger is pregnant, and we've been talking about, we think it's a girl. Of course, she's not finding out because she never does. This is baby number 3. But she's got Emily, and I was like, oh, Emily and Elodie sounds really pretty together. All right, so Empress Elodie says, I work in a library. It's a few days before we expect the state to announce a lockdown. So this is a quarantine story. We are allowing all patrons to come in and borrow books and movies without penalty fees. To last them the duration of the lockdown. So basically, come in before the lockdown, get something. You can keep it until the lockdown's over. We're not going to charge you late fees. And obviously, this is a library, and I would think, like, people probably did, like, rush in, like, give me something before I can't get shit.
Yeah.
And she says every nervous parent suddenly comes to terms with having to handle their spawn at home all day, every day, raids our children's DVD section, and all the popular animated and Disney films are gone completely. I remember a mother checking out specifically before she is renting one of my personal favorite movies. And the movie is called The Tale of the Princess, and I don't know how to say this word. I think it's Kaguya, Kaguya. It's a Japanese animated film. I see her coming in, storming in the door the next day, right up to me. She is clearly on fire, right? Now, I just got this email, and apparently I had put out our last episode where we talked about the woman that, like, you can feel when you get a call that comes in hot, like, you just know. You can feel the heat emanating off of them. And she's like, it's what made me think of this story, because the second that she walked in, you could just feel the electricity crackle in the air. She's storming in, and she just yells right in my face, you guys fucked up. You fucked up real bad. I say, okay, what is the problem, ma'am? And she said, you had this smut in the kids section. I started it for my son, and within minutes, some tramp is getting her boobs out. This is disgusting, and I want to know what you're going to do about it. Now, she says, for context, because this is a Japanese animated film, right? For context, this movie is about an old couple finding a magical baby in the woods. The magic extends to the old woman regaining the ability to breastfeed, which she does early on in the movie. It's a totally innocent, natural scene drawn in stylistic charcoal and not sexualized at all. Now, I actually looked up a clip of this. It really isn't like, oh my God, this bitch just whipped out her tits. Like, it's not that at all. Like, it's, honestly, I would feel, TJ's 6, I would feel comfortable letting TJ watch it. Like, it really isn't anything. Like, I don't know. It's just me. Right. My personal preference. Now, I actually tell her, ma'am, the movie is actually rated G for all audiences. Like, this movie was vetted. Like, and is rated G. That's how innocent that scene is. Like, that should tell you a lot. And I say, I personally have seen this movie, and it's a perfectly innocent, normal scene. I admit the movie does cover some heavier themes compared to American animated films, but it is still suitable for most children. And the woman just yells at me, how dare you assume what's good for my child? We are a God-fearing family, and I demand this filth be taken off of your shelves. I say, ma'am, I'll take note of your complaint and bring it to the attention of the manager. We are expected to go into lockdown tomorrow, so please feel free to take another movie instead. Trying to placate her, like, just chill the fuck out. Yeah. And the woman yells, I maxed out my book loans yesterday. Give me some more and I won't make a scene. She flat out says, like, I'm going...
Give me some more and I won't make a scene.
Like, fuck. Are you kidding me, lady? Good God. Right? So apparently, yes, you can take it out. We're not going to charge you late fees, but there's still a limit to how many you can take out, right?
Right.
And I say, I'm sorry, I'm not authorized to do that, but I'll call my manager and see what I can do, right? And the patron says, you do that. I'm going to go find new books and age appropriate movies for my child. She says that sentence almost spitting with contempt. I call my manager and explain the situation, and after laughing, the manager says I'm allowed to rent her 3 more books. The patron returns with some books and a movie. So basically, she's getting 3 more books, and she's exchanging the movie that she brought back. And I relay to the customer what my manager said. And she says, fine, I'll take this movie and these books. The movie is a PG action film. While generally family-friendly, does contain way more violence than the Japanese animation films.
Well, violence is okay. Just don't show it
Exactly.
to you,
like, God forbid.
Or imply that somebody's feeding their child.
Exactly.
Naturally.
Like,
Fucking
God
idiot.
forbid.
Go sit down,
Thank
Karen.
you. That's why she calls her the queen of all Karens. She says, the books, however, are all trashy romance novels. And the 3 she selected are called Bedded for Pleasure, The Playboy's Passionate Pursuit, and A Naked Desire. Miss, just what, 15 minutes ago, we're a God-fearing family, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
That's why you can't get your husband to touch you like the passionate cowboy or whatever you said.
I scanned them out, and I said to her as she left, I hope you enjoy your smut-free lockdown, ma'am.
Yeah, right? Yeah, smut-free my ass.
Exactly. I thought that was funny. Okay, you come storming in saying, how dare you give me this smut, and then you purposefully go get more smut to leave with. Like,
Right.
Okay, good job, Queen Karen. Oh my God. This one is literally titled, Channeling My Inner Tanya. And it is from, you're going to love this, it's from Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch. Hey, matey. The fuck? Captain Crunch.
He says, this is a call center story. He says he's from Denver. And it says, I take calls for a phone provider. And the customer says, I really need your help. I think I'm in danger. I say, all right. I know, right? I'll be glad to help in any way I can. The customer said, someone is hacking my phone, and they're sending belligerent text messages to my ex-boyfriend without my permission. And they called my family asking for help using my voice.
Okay, nut.
I say, okay. Let me... give me a moment. Basically, like, trying to buy time. Like, I don't know how to respond to you, ma'am.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? I look at her account notes and I see someone has put a fraud alert for this. And that has, of course, been cleared, finding no fraud. Basically, she already called saying that this has been happening. They did a fraud investigation. I put investigation in air quotes on a podcast. And they were like, no, we didn't find anything, you fucking moron.
God. Now she's just trying to cover her ass because she's been sending her ex-boyfriend
threatening messages. I say, okay, I see that we've actually investigated this and we've found no fraud on the phone line. And the customer says, just tell me, if you're not finding anything and the police aren't finding anything, how is this happening? Well, at this moment, I think, channel your inner Tanya. And I said, look, I'm going to give it to you straight. There's no real world way this is happening. I would suggest consulting a doctor. And the customer says, you think so? And I say, I do. And the customer says, okay, I'll do that. Thank you. The call ends, and I turn to my coworker, thinking for a second, and I just say, I'm going to get fired.
Right? Yeah, because I would definitely, like, that would be something where you would have to be like, is there anybody there with you? Can I talk to them? Like
know.
an actual physical person, like anyone. If
Oh
not,
my
honey, I think
God.
you should go to the hospital now because that's
Exactly.
not even something that can be done.
Oh my
Like
God.
that's oh my God.
I love the response. I would suggest consulting a doctor. You
Right.
think? Like, because
have you
apparently
spoken
nobody
to
said this to
have you
her.
spoken to a physician about what's going on? Because I think you have some fucking issues, lady.
I think they might be the best ones to consult with.
Right, not your fucking phone company.
Exactly. All right. I thought this one was sweet. This is from Kara S. In Nebraska.
Oh.
And she titled it A Sweet Act During a Bitter Time. I'm working at the cash register at a bookstore. The current events have made it a very sparse place these days, but we still do get some customers in. A customer comes up to the register with a book he wants to purchase. We take our time and chat a little bit while I ring him up. Once I get the total, he points to the candy bars we have on the counter for sale. And the customer says, "Which one is the best?" And I say, "Well, my favorite's the caramel." And the customer says, "I'd like 2 of them." I ring those up and he pays the total, and then I give him his bag of goodies. Before he steps away from the counter, he reaches into the bag, pulls out one of the caramel bars, and hands it to me. And he says, "This one's for you. Thank you for helping me, and thank you for being here working." I was so grateful and said thank you. I don't even know how many times, but the kindness during this crazy times just really gets to me. I thought I was going to cry, happy tears. He smiled, gave me a wave, and left. The next day, we all got a call saying that we were laid off. So not only did that customer give me the gift of a candy bar, the gift of a kind act, but also the gift of giving me a treasured memory on my last day working there. I'll do my best to share the kindness with other people's days too. An act of kindness, no matter how small, can make such a difference when times feel so heavy right now. Please share this with your audience. Love your faces and smooches.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Isn't that awesome?
That is super sweet. But you do notice it a lot more now. Like some people are just natural born assholes, and no matter
I do feel like
what,
it's highlighting both.
yeah. But you do see like one of the guys that Avery plays semi-pro with. He works at Safeway up there by where we used to work.
Mm-hmm.
And the one we used to go to all the time. He works
Right.
there, and he every day people are just he said it just amazes him how many people every day thank them for working, like just
Absolutely.
thank them, thank you so much for doing this and everything. He said that they get more appreciation in a day than they do hatred because some people are just assholes.
Right.
Oh, why don't you have this? Well, because you fuckers keep coming in here and buying it all. That's why.
Right.
But yeah, he said that they've seen a lot more of the whole thank you so much kind of thing.
Yeah.
going on,
Well,
which is
it's
good.
like I went over to Jessica's last weekend and we recorded. I made some special masks for the kids and we recorded. And usually when we do it that way, we do like a full day of recording and I'll get pizza for the kids. And we'll take a break midway through recording and the kids get to eat pizza. Well, Jessica placed the order and she had included a thing of Sprite for the kids. Well, they brought the pizza and they left and we didn't realize that they didn't leave the Sprite. So and the kids were all like waiting. They were like, "Oh, are we getting Sprite?" And we had told them. So we've got 5 kids in the house, like ready for Sprite, which is a treat for our kids. Like we don't give them Sprite.
Right.
All the time. And there's no Sprite. So Tanya calls or Jessica calls and she's like, "Hey, we didn't get the Sprite." And they looked at the order and they were like, "Oh, you didn't actually include it in the order." And she was like, "Oh my God." And we were trying to figure out what to do. And she had explained, like, "I've got 5 kids in the house. Like, I know it's stupid, but this is like what's going on."
Yeah.
And Domino's was just like down in Fountain was just like, "Oh, we'll just bring you some Sprite for free."
Oh.
And they literally came back and brought us Sprite. And I went out to get it. And they basically like leave it on your doorstep and you pick it up. And I had some all I had was a 20, but I was just like, "Here, take it." And he was like, "No, it's on the house." And I was like, No. Like, you rescued 2 moms who've got a house full of wild children. Like, I get that you're saying it's a courtesy, but number 1, you're working. And number 2, you absolutely did not have to do that. So here's a 20. Go. I don't care. Like, take it. Go. Because I'm just like, no. That, like, I went to Arby's, like, a week ago, and they had a tip jar, like, out on, like, on the drive-through, like, little ledge thing, which, that's not normal, like, at all. But they had a tip jar, and I asked about it, and they were like, yeah, we put it out there because so many people are actually asking, like, can I tip you? Like, they didn't do that as we want you to give us a tip. They did it because they've had so many people ask to do that.
Yeah. I
was like, here's some cash. Like, and I put some cash in there because I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. Like, yes, here's thank you for working. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I believe it because whenever I'm listening to calls from my clients, you have so many people that are just like, hey, can I add a tip to that?
Right.
And yeah, and there's, for some of the concepts, we don't have a way to do that. And for a few, we do. But people are asking a lot more, hey, can I give a tip? Like, can I give you a tip? And I have some agents that are like, because we can't take a tip. Right. It only goes to, like, the delivery drivers or the restaurant or whatever. And I have some agents that are getting upset because they're like, well, how much money I miss out on? Yeah, I listen to your calls. You miss out like a $5. So fuck off. No.
There you go. Exactly.
We don't take a tip. You get paid hourly.
Yeah.
People who take tips generally don't get paid hourly, or if they do, it's a hell of a lot less than what you're getting paid.
Right. All right. So that is a message to everybody. Just be nice. Be the people that are having their kindness amplified, not their assholeness amplified. Like, seriously, just we're really all struggling through this together. Don't make it harder for people for no fucking reason.
Right? Don't be a dick.
Exactly. All right. So until next time, I'm Lara Mack.
And I'm Tanya Edwards.
Love your faces.
Smooches.
Like what you hear? Rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes or your favorite podcasting platform. And follow us on our Facebook page by searching Q as in Cucumber. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching QAIC_Lara, LARA, and QAIC_Tanya, TANYA. Don't forget to check out our other show, hosted by me and Jessica James, called The Parent Memoirs. And we want to hear from you. Share your stories by emailing us at qasincucumber@yahoo.com, and you might just hear your stories on a future episode. Love your faces.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.